Welcome to Command
Yeah.
AI, the show where we press Command F on the internet's AI news and somehow still can't find our sanity. I'm Samuel Gregory, this is Gabaza, and we're here to decode the weekly chaos in AI web design and development. This week, we have the illusion of thinking, debunking Apple's claims, translate the Oxford English Dictionary in a mere 2 seconds, DeepL claims, is Gemini winning, 2.5 Pro Flash, go on general release, and light mode joins the chat. Figma MCP server is the latest in front-end developer workflows, and Sam Altman's on a rampage against Meta. Okay, maybe that one, the last one's a bit of a stretch, but we'll get into all that on this week's episode. Does that work? Shall I just wear these for the intro?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Brilliant.
A lot of energy. Love it.
Oh, thank you. It's hard. Do you know, I find it so hard to read. That's why I don't do scripts, because I find it so hard to read and like entertain at the same time. I think it's a dyslexia thing, but whatever. Anyway, debunk. Apple has been debunked. It's something we spoke about last week. Did you read this this claim?
I mean, we talked about Apple's claim, but I don't know about the new claim about what Apple said.
What you remember what Apple said, right? That there's models aren't actually thinking, they're not actually reasoning. Well, you've got Alex Lawson here publishing the illusion of thinking, right? It's a I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at here. It's an article which he's basically saying, it even looks the same. That's quite funny. He's saying that there are a few things that Apple kind of messed up on, which is, namely, they kind of ran these models to their absolute limit. So their context window was like at its peak, which, as we all know, the more context you give something, the worse it's going to perform. So the budget token, they were saying, was hitting their absolute maximum. What else we got here? The river crossing tests include mathematically impossible instances with insufficient. So there's a boat capacity for 6 actors or something. It was one of the games that Apple put the models through that were impossible, but yet when they recognized it was impossible or unsolvable, they were then penalized for it. And the evaluation scripts failed to distinguish between genuine reason and failures and practical output constraints, judging by models solely on completed moves. I don't actually understand that one, I'm going to be completely honest. But I guess the overall point is that they kind of, what's the phrase we're looking at, when they were already cut at the knees sort of thing when they were put through these tests. So I don't know if that's a phrase, to be honest, but we're going to go with it. So yeah. There's a battle that's on. Oh, this is the illusion of thinking, actually, to be fair. I've got the wrong article up, but maybe I can get it up, maybe I can find it for you. But yeah, there is the illusion of thinking, and it's sort of, I don't know, I feel like
that's interesting. Maybe Apple comes up backing their claim. That would be interesting to see.
It's like a bitchy online battle between, no, you're wrong, no, you said this, I said this. I want to find the illusion.
Saying that because the context window was, at its capacity, the models can't think. I don't know. I need to read more about this, because it sounds like, well, that's the definition of not being able to keep up and think. It's like if you lose context, that's one of the main issues we have with LLMs, right? It appears that we have such a bigger context.
Well, we're getting bigger, but even still, even if you have a big context window, it's still good practice to, once you've finished your task, once you've done with what you want to do, free up that context. It's like prompt engineering 101 sort of thing. So I'm just trying to find the actual article or whatever that this guy actually wrote, but yeah, it's not a good thing to put models through this sort of thing. So there was something else as well that I remembered from it, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's like like I say, it's like an online he said, she said type of thing. I don't know whether Apple are going to come back with anything, particularly, they've said their piece. Just end it there. Do you know what I mean? It could end up being just a bit of a feud that's unnecessary sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Where am I now? I've got windows everywhere. Internet translated in 18 days by, this is your side of the pond. This is a German company called DeepL.
Yeah.
Technically, this is a Nvidia story, really. I think maybe this is more of a marketing thing for DeepL, but DeepL are a translation company. It's just like Google Translate, but I think they offer enterprise solutions and it's more than just this chat interface that we have. But they were provided a shit ton of Nvidia GPUs. So 128 basically GPUs going off. Oh, we've got Christian's joined the chat from Cologne.
Hello there.
MJ video for today. I don't know what he's saying.
Mid-journey video today. Well,
Mid-journey video today.
Yeah.
What's that?
Did you play with it?
Do you want to give more context?
With the Mid-journey video.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. But you have to get a good. Let's finish this and we'll talk about Mid-journey in a sec.
We'll get there.
So a bunch of GPUs basically, and it translated the entire internet in 18 days that was previously set 194 days. So nearly a year by the previous supercomputer. Well, I mean, not 3/4 of the year, 2/3 of the year, down to just 18 days. And this is a 90% reduction in translation time. What I thought was more interesting is that it translated the Oxford English Dictionary in 2 seconds, down from 39 seconds, which is just absolutely insane. But this is all thanks to kind of like Nvidia GPUs. I am an investor in Nvidia, so I'm happy to see this news go out. And yeah, it's pretty badass, pretty crazy.
Very interestingly, I was talking with my project manager earlier, and I told her, hey, Sam actually uploaded a piece of last week's video. Can you check it out? I want to show you something. I just wanted to show her the thumbnails, but then she clicked on it because the titles were in Spanish. She's originally from Spain, and right now she is in Spain. Yeah. And she opened the video and we were speaking in Spanish.
Española.
And I recorded a piece of that in Loom, so it's quite funny. We are both talking with the same voice, so it can't recognize that yet. And I was like, how is the translation? And she was like, for the general things, I understand what you say. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. AI, artificial intelligence.
No, it was like I could understand the vertical and horizontal because it was literally the same word translated.
Yeah, it's like in Welsh, like they don't have modern words for things. So it's like they'll be talking in Welsh and they'll be like DVD and microwave. Actually, poppity pig they call microwave in Welsh. But yeah, oh, that's good. Yeah, because I had it a little while ago where they, I was welcome to the beta and I just turned it on for a video, but I'd never actually gone in and checked like the result of it. So hang on. We are literally speaking in Spanish, but our mouths are not speaking in Spanish, but the audio is speaking in Spanish. Is that right?
Just the audio. It's just the audio. Yeah.
And is it in our voices or is it kind of like a... It's not. Okay.
So she said it really sounds like South African accent in a way. It doesn't sound like she's from Spain. She's from Barcelona. She said it sounds like from South Africa you are. And both of our voices were one. So it was like just one voice.
One. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is beta.
It's
I kind of got
it wasn't
a
good.
South African vibe going today. I could put
But
up
I
a
could
South African name.
imagine, like, I don't know. There are so many YouTube videos that I want to share with my dad, and I can't. I even try to translate some videos. Just take the transcript, translate it, and then re-upload it again, or something like this, to show a few videos to my dad. But not it's not the same. So I'm really excited to see this becoming actually viable and good. Imagine the people like a lot of people who can't understand English, and just suddenly we speak in their language. That would be really cool.
Well, I remember when they first kind of released it, and they obviously gave it to Mr. Beast as like one of the very, very early people to use it. And, he was sawing a massive ROI because most of his audience, well, not I say most of, plenty of his audience were in Spanish. So they were trying out his, they're doing his videos in Spanish because he actually has all of the different channels in the different languages and stuff like that. But now he doesn't need to. He can just upload to the one channel. But are they your videos that you're trying to send your dad, or just in general different videos that you've seen around the internet?
Yeah. What is also interesting on that, he mentioned, Mr. Beast mentioned, he mentions in a podcast, I think, what is it called? Like the podcast that the host, it's like two hosts, and it was with Zuckerberg.
Is it the Indian guy and the white guy? Is that Amir and something?
Samir and
Samir.
Colin? Samir?
Yeah, these two.
Yeah. So Mr. Beast says for his short videos especially, he tries to make videos in which he doesn't need to speak. Because the moment he starts to speak in any language, the drop is crazy in viewership. But if he makes the videos in a format in which he doesn't need to explain or speak at all, people tend to watch it. For example, he has those videos where he's running with bags of money, and he doesn't talk at all. He's not like explaining anything. He's just literally showing it, because a lot more people just watch these videos. Otherwise, they just scroll by.
Crazy. I mean, it's just an audience thing, isn't it? Like, I think most of my audience are US. Again, that could just be because I'm UK, British. Yeah.
Because they like your accent.
Yeah, but Mr. Beast, if he's putting out content, it's so good to them that they will just watch it and translate. Do you know what I mean? So he's got that data to make that thing, whereas I don't have that volume to like commit to re-uploading my videos on Sam ES. You know what I mean? Sam Española.
Yeah, he has like teams that dub his videos, like teams.
So, you don't even need to do that anymore. AI is doing it. You know what I mean? You've got. I think even this. Maybe StreamYard, what we're using right now. I think it automatically dubs it, but I've got Veed as well, which automatically dubs what I'm doing. I might just upload a random video in Spanish or something like that, see how it does.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's go to an ad break, and we will be right back.
Support for this episode comes from Flowbase. If you are building in Webflow, Framer, or Figma, Flowbase can help you build much faster. With over 4,000 components to choose from, you have a huge variety of wireframes and super clean, nicely designed sections that you can put together by just simply copy-pasting them to your project.
Over 15,000 icons as well, over 1,000 illustrations.
They also have a super helpful Webflow app called Boosters. With Boosters, you can add things like sliders and marquees and count-ups to your project with a few clicks and without any coding. So yeah, big thanks to Flowbase for supporting the show. If you want to try them out, go head to flowbase.co.
And just for you guys, I want to share a discount. Command Flowbase, all capitals, for 20% off any plan. This is a limited offer, so get in there early.
All right, that's it. Let's continue with the show.
Cheers, Flowbase. I never know if that's going to just cut back to us or whether I need to do something, but I was going to change the layout so we jump right back into the thing, but now we know. 2.5 going on general availability, which basically means it is production ready, baby. And actually, I actually got this up, but where I did a video on this or something, and during the video, making the video, I noticed DeepSeek have overtaken Opus, which is mental. It was like, what? I mean, 2.5 is clearing the bar pretty heftily, and DeepSeek are scraping it. So this is definitely is something I want to be looking into. But given that we are talking about Gemini here, the preview 0605 model is just the latest. This was just the I guess beta preview type of thing. But yeah, and it also means that Flash is also on general availability, which is awesome. Get it in your apps and all that kind of stuff. And they also released a new 2.5 Flash Lite on public preview, which is like an even faster sort of, even faster, basically, good for like summarization, responsive chat applications, and data extraction, things like that. So it's very much. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong one here. It's ideal for classification, translation, intelligent routing, basically just cost-sensitive, high-scale applications, sort of things. So really, a really nice suite of products here. And I know what you're going to say. You just want one. You just want one.
Well, let me tell you this. Yesterday, I tried Gemini app on my phone, like the Google Gemini app on my iPhone. And it was super cool. Like the vision, it was awesome. Yeah, so I turned it on and I was like, what is this? And she was like, these are dirty dishes. I was like, no, not these. Ignore these. What is? So I was like showing some stuff in my kitchen that I were not sure like what they are, or like what they are called in German. And sometimes I didn't know what they are called in English. One of the languages is always lacking. So it was really cool. So we were just talking, like I was actually using it. I wasn't just like trying to. I was like, okay, what is this and what can I do with it? Because I just had a lot of like stuff that my mom leaves in my house and I didn't know what to do with them. I was like, what are these? Like, some seeds and I don't know. Anyway, so I had fun, and then it would go quiet. One thing that was funny, it was always trying to be very helpful to the point that I felt like it's annoying. I was like, no, just let me ask you, and then stop with this, like trying to push the conversation with asking me a question. Like at the end of everything that she was saying, was asking it for like something else. Anyway, I was using it, so it was pretty cool. But at some point that I was like cleaning the kitchen, the conversation changed. So from talking about the kitchen, we were talking about Alpha Centauri, the nearest star system, and then I was talking about like the exactly, yeah, sure. How many stars are there? Let me ask my Gemini.
What do you mean, how many stars are there?
So actually there are like 3 stars in Alpha Centauri, and it's a 3-star star system, and it's these stars are 3. It's called 3-body problem. Have you heard of it? Yeah, so we were talking about this. So it was really cool, like having vision, but at the same time talk about something else. I really enjoyed it, and it's a bit like the movie Her, not gonna lie.
It is good. Like, yeah, I think it really helps when you just get lost in it, when you overcome the kind of anxiety, I guess, of, obviously speaking to a machine. But if you can get into it, it's actually really, really helpful. Really, really helpful.
But something that I also noticed, that kind of this idea of if you know that you're talking to a machine or to a person, I feel like there is some level of rigidness, both in ChatGPT and also in Gemini that I was trying yesterday. Like I was trying to make fun of it in a way, or like be playful, like how you tease your friends when you talk, right? I don't know. Like, I know you do.
Sure.
You just have fun with the conversation, you tease, and there is this rigidness with these models. Like, you definitely still feel like, okay, that's not a person. It's very smart. It tells me about things in my kitchen, but also stars in Alpha Centauri, but it's still rigid.
Two very, very, symbiotic things there.
Exactly.
It's good. We have a question here. Basically, is it available in Cursor yet? 2.5. This is 2.5 Pro. Yes, it is available in Cursor. They basically, I think yesterday, they made the 0506 or 0605, whatever it is. The last release is the same release that's available on. They're just pointing all to the same release, just so things don't break, basically. But you can set it as, I actually don't know, I haven't looked at it, but I think you can pretty much just leave it as the 0506 model, so it's good to go in Cursor. So yeah. And I realized as well that I get Gemini Pro on my workspace plan. So because I use Google Workspace for all my emails and things like that, I didn't realize that I could get Pro.
We'll talk about that. How much you use AI with your emails, or like iPlan.
Yeah. Well, let's just quickly look at the pricing. Because it is pretty good. So Gemini 2.5 Pro is $1.25 in, 10 out. And they start to give you, I guess maybe it's like discounts here. I haven't looked into the other prices, but just for $1 million, just because that's what we generally tend to use. Flash is 30 cents to in, and then 250 out, and then Flash preview. Where's Flash Lite? Here we go. Flash Lite is like 50 in, and then text out is 2. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, 10 in, and then 4 out, 40 cents outwards. So pretty reasonable, still pretty reasonable. I think for the performance to price ratio, it's crazy, absolutely crazy, like it's inarguable. Especially again when you look at that leaderboard here, DeepSeek overtaking Opus. To be fair, I want to dig into Opus even more now, because these are, they're voted, and people generally like this has got less votes than that, and as it starts to average out, maybe it will switch around a little bit, but they got to suit most coding styles. The Pro just might not suit your coding style, and I have a feeling I'm more of an Opus guy than Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is kind of annoying. Maybe I've just got expensive taste, I don't know. But maybe I'm just a bit bougie, but I've been using 2.5 Pro today. I'm like, and I'm there's a basic problem that I'm trying to tackle, and I feel like Opus can just sort it out. But it's it's an exciting world. It's an exciting world. Were you going to say anything else, by the way? I felt like you were about to say something, and
No, we have it in the docs. We keep it for the end. I show Dia and how I use Dia to save some money.
Oh, okay.
Like, actually.
Okay. Do you want to chat about that?
Well, I mean, we have it at the end of our doc. I don't know if you want to go. Let's go as per your plan, and then at the end I'll show you.
Cool. Well, I was going to talk about Jules, but it's a very, very quick update. Basically, I really like Jules. Do you remember Jules? Did you watch my Jules video?
Not sure, actually. You did talk about it, but I don't remember, to be honest.
Basically, it's a background. It's like Codex. It's a background coding agent that you can just give it a task, and it will just do it for you in the background, and then you create a pull request, and it's done. So it's really kind of cool. If you're on your phone or whatever, you can just be like, oh, I've noticed a bug, and then you just send it off to do its thing. So all the update here, like I've been using it, definitely been using it for little bits and bobs here and there. They've increased, and this is a free tool. Remember, this is a free tool. they've increased the amount you can use it to 60 tasks a day. It was 5 when it was in beta, and they've increased it to 60, which is just how can anyone compete with Google when they're just literally just giving us all of this stuff? Well, actually a separate subject, but I won't go into it. But like, it's just insane that we get to have all of these amazing tools. And you asked me last week, is there a company more hated than Facebook?
Yeah.
I was nearly going to say Google, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just in my own head, but like, they seem to be completely eradicating the fact that they are a massive conglomerate company, like literally just ramming adverts and collecting data down our throats. And I wonder if they're changing their ways a little bit, and they're seeing the future that isn't in data. I don't know. What do you think?
I think a lot of the good things that we know about the internet today, we are in a way owe it to Google. They figured out how AdSense works in general, right? They were not the first search engine, but they were the kind of like the first who figured out how can we be profitable and just grow. And they figured it out using, AdSense. So I know we all hate ads, but at the same time, we have YouTube, which is like amazing, right? So I think we might hate Google, or like, I don't, but a lot of people might hate Google for a few reasons. One is collecting data, but at the same time, they give something back, right? They have a lot of free tools that are, you could argue, that are really good for humanity. And it's really hard to argue against it, like YouTube. But with Facebook, they collect your data, they sell it, just like how Google does it, but they don't return anything really good, to humanity. They give you Facebook, which is, used to make you angry. They give you Instagram to kill a lot of your time. They give you WhatsApp. They collect your data there. I know they have like end-to-end encryption, but they still know who are you contacting. They still know what links you are opening. So they still know a lot of things. They don't know literally what you are saying to your friends, but they know a lot of the context of like things that you are doing. So Facebook is hated because of that, and also because Mark has multiple times like tried to sell us something else, like the idea of that he's pro privacy and that they are not, misusing data. And we've seen not just once, but again and again and again that he just doesn't truly care. It's just not, he doesn't have it. It's not like in his moral code of conduct to care about these things, because it's happening like throughout the past, 2 decades. It's not like he's changing. He changed his branding for sure, but they just stole a lot of books for their LLM. So knowingly,
Yeah, that's so true. Google are giving back, whereas Facebook do not seem to give anything back much at all.
There is another reason why people don't like Google that much, and that also something that Google doesn't give back. It's that they kill products. They come up with a lot of products, and also to see it from that position, it's a huge company. They build a lot of products. They are very open about it. It's not like Apple. You never know what they are working on. With Google, you know it. There are leaks, but then they also publish it, and then they just kill it because it's not profitable, or whatever, not their focus. You don't see that with Apple, right? That's why you don't see like new tools that you try and then get killed. Arc.
There is stuff that Apple have killed though, like
I mean they killed the Air charger. That never came out.
Yeah. I had something in my mind then about but I forgot.
What did they kill? Like, what did Apple kill?
Didn't they? There was a Lisa. There was like a computer. Like, I mean, Steve Jobs famously came in and just killed all of these computers and whatever. Like, There was an Apple phone they did with Motorola that they killed. I mean, they are a hardware company at the end of the day, so it comes across slightly different. But that's what I was going to say.
But it's like products that you discontinue that are hardware. It's like LG, for example, that broke my heart that they, decided to not continue with their mobile, department. I still own an LG. It's kind
Your
of
poor heart. It's just on the ups and downs, isn't it? First you're in love, then you're not in love. Now you're in love again with Dia, and now the phone broke your heart. Your heart is just in pieces right now. Gosh.
Yeah, man. The browser company broke my heart with Arc, but they are giving us Dia, so I'll take it as
everything's good. Everything's good. What I was going to say, and I hate to sound like the capitalist pig that I am, but if it was your money and you were paying for server usage, you were paying, and you would inevitably losing money on a product, and it was like, what? So you have to support this product just because you released it. You have to support it. Like, what was that? A bark? What did you just do then?
No, it was just my phone.
No, it was your bark. Or something. Anyway, whatever.
I'll show you. This is one of those like that.
What is it?
Had a back that you could.
Oh, remember those days? Remember those days? You could just
remove,
carry an extra battery with you.
Yeah, removable battery. And I think this is like peak of phone design, because this has this kind of like arc.
So thin.
Yeah, and
no camera bump.
No camera bump. This arc shape, and the buttons are at the.
Oh, I remember those.
Back,
yeah,
and they're where your fingers like naturally sit. It's very comfortable, and this is real leather.
I actually hold my phone like this, so it's not really for me if I'm holding my phone like that.
So I don't know. I really love this design. This is amazing product design. They had also LG G Flex. So LG G Flex was very similar to this, but the screen was literally following an arc. It was bent. And it was like amazing. I had it in my hand. It was amazing to hold in your hand, because your hand, it's just like it sits on the palm of your hand. But
it's not. I remember they were just so comfy. Whereas, I think
this is the peak.
I'm just texting a friend because they're like texting me and stuff. I'm just like, I'm kind of busy right now, but they were good old days, and now we're convinced that having this boxy. I mean, I do like it, mine, but this boxy number is, it's good. Anyway, I wouldn't going back to the whole Google killing products. Like, if this is just the way the world works, and if it was your money, you would kill off these products as well, and if they didn't have those, they wouldn't have the evolution. If we didn't have Google circles, then we probably wouldn't have VO3. I don't know, that's a bit of a stretch there, but you know what I mean.
But no, I completely agree. I understand, like, if it's not profitable, they gotta kill it.
So design and dev is changing forever now. I'm very excited about this next one, and I'm surprised you didn't bring it up, to be honest. I'm surprised I was the one that had to go and find it.
Which one? The Figma Dev MCP?
Figma MCP server. Like, this is incredible. I've got a video. I've recorded the video. It's coming out next week. Maybe next week. I don't know. But like, this was just so good. Like, it beats Make, because you can actually, I mean, do you know what MCP servers are? Do you know what do you know what they are?
Yeah. It's basically allowing LLMs to use another service. It's like APIs for LLMs.
Yeah. And it determines
APIs for LLMs, MCPs. We are throwing a lot of.
Let's dumb it down a little bit. So you can use natural language like a prompt, and your cursor, Windsurf, whatever, will figure out that you want to do something in Figma. So where is it here? Get code from Figma and implement this file. I don't know how he's doing this. I tried doing this yesterday, but I don't know how he's doing all this. But basically, I go nuts in my video. I go nuts. I say, can you get the design and put it in this file? And it will just, again, just the LLM figures out that you're talking about a Figma, and it runs a tool call to get the selected frame that you have, and then pulls it in and makes it as code. And obviously you can go as narrow as possible. You can get a button that has different variants, or you can go to a whole page and just bring in a whole page and it will build the code. And it's 90% there, probably 95% there. Like, it's never going to be perfect. Well, it might be perfect soon, but like, it's not perfect all the time, but it's pretty gosh darn great. And I can just say, go get me the variables, and it will pull in all. And this is where it comes very powerful, is that you pull in it pulls in all the variables. And the beauty of natural language and LLMs and stuff like that is that you pull in the variables, and I tell it to make them into Tailwind 4 variables. So yes, it could pull in those things and make them CSS variables or whatever, but now I'm adding the extra layer of complexity and saying, well, give me Tailwind, make them Tailwind, or make them Sass, make them less, all this sort of stuff. So this I feel like more people need to, it's in beta, but I think more people need to hear about this. I watched this live stream yesterday. I was like, holy crap, like, how has no one really told me about this? And I even went to Figma MCP YouTube. There's barely any videos about it. So like, this is crazy. Like, you've got maybe, there's Usler. You got Gary Simon's video here, which he released two weeks ago, was doing pretty well. 4 days ago, no one's released any content on it. And it's just like, what? This is crazy. And more people need to know about this. Is your team using this?
No, but I think this is because a lot of people are scared of AI, and especially like designers, like scared in the sense that.
But this is not to do with. This has nothing to do with the.
If it's technical, designers don't use cursor, right?
But this is not for designers. It's for developers.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, is there a way to also
reverse it?
Use it for designers? Yeah, reverse it to do something in. Yeah, to not yet.
MCP is one way. It's not like an API thing. It's like, well, I say it's one way. It's like the data, like. Yeah, it only serves one purpose either way. It's not like a reversible thing. So it probably will be a way, but then you've got. Go on, sorry.
Do you think there would be like a way for Webflow or like a Webflow app to integrate that in Webflow? Because Webflow already has this Figma to Webflow app. Do you think this having an MCP will help with that? Like being able from using maybe the Webflow app, using just natural language to tell it to what to import?
Well, Webflow need to implement let me just get it up here. Why is that there? So Webflow needs to implement what services it can actually do, the things it can actually do, right? Share screen. So I think this is good. And if I go to my settings here, I do all this on the video. See, why there's no need to watch my videos anymore, because I just do it all here. But if we go here, it's just loading now. Look, loading tools. Come on now. Come on, baby. Basically, just go to this one. Look, you can kind of see what's going on here. So Magic UI design. These are my top picks for MCP service, by the way, guys. Get UI components, get components. You can kind of get an idea of what it does. And in answer to your question, as far as I understand, Webflow have only implemented making changes to the database, CMS. As far I haven't jumped into the MCP for Webflow, but I guess you're again thinking, can we create components and things like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they would need to implement that. They would actually need to implement the ability to do so. Sorry, I'm getting excited. I need a drink. But I think this is for developers, not for designers. For developers, this is so good. This is so good. And I think it's the game changer. Because the idea is, I think people maybe struggle because the good thing is I don't need to leave cursor. I can just make all these tool calls, and you can have. We're getting into MCP land right now, but like I can make searches. I can search the internet. I can do everything. Actually, this is news. Windsurf just released a browser, so you can literally browse the internet inside of Windsurf. And again, this is just purely developer stuff. As a developer, it's great that I don't need to leave my IDE. It's great that I don't need to, and I can just get my information all from in here because chatbots are just winning. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a very that's why ChatGPT got so big, because it's just a normal way to interface with the internet, with data. You know, sorry.
Yeah, but like, don't you open your cursor with a browser anyway? Like, I don't I saw that news with Windsurf, but I don't get it. Like, why do you need a browser there?
It's efficiency. It's just marginal gains of efficiency. And actually, this is something I want to figure out. I want to pose the question. And like, I wish I could film my desk set up right now, but I find it so annoying. Mouse and keyboard, right? Very, very natural. I hate jumping from mouse to keyboard to mouse to keyboard. Sometimes even just to press a shortcut, then go back to my mouse. I like literally just want to stay. I just want to stay in the one place. Maybe that's where Lenovo made that little red nub. Remember that little red nub in the middle?
Yeah.
Like I think that might need to make a comeback, because like I hate moving over to my mouse and back and forward and back and forth. It drives me nuts. So there needs to be some, or maybe it's my eyes. Maybe there's I don't know. Scientists, get on this, because I'm tired of lifting up my arm.
Well, so two things. One, I use my thumb to use my cursor, not for like big stuff, but if I need to just make a small change, I just use my thumb. So my hands are on the keyboard and then my thumb is on the trackpad, because I use trackpad. And I believe that a trackpad makes you more efficient than, a mouse. I have this mouse with like
a trackpad.
Customizable.
I've got a trackpad, so maybe I need to bring that back. But it's
still
I
love my trackpad. Yeah. The second thing is, it's gonna it's not really healthy to not move. So it's really good for you to change, like whatever that you do, like whatever position, however you like it. It's important to change it. If you've heard of carpal tunnel, I believe it's called. It happens because your fingers stay in this, for example, position, or like when you type in this position for long. It happens to piano players as well. This happens when you don't stretch your fingers. Like, you need to not just like completely stretch it, but also like backwards try to do like this type of movements. So this won't happen, because it happened to me, and it's gonna be very painful. So you got to be careful. Move as much as you can.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, but I mean, that's just tiresome. Definitely tiresome. It's
but I get the need for that knob to come back.
Yeah,
I was a fan of it.
What, of the trackpad or the
mouse?
No,
the knob, the red knob in Lenovo.
Oh yeah, it's nice. Listen, I've got a hard stop. So unless you want to carry the show on the road after I'm gone, we gotta move on. So, Sam Altman has been on a few podcasts. I'm gonna get my notes back up now. Sam Altman's been on a few podcasts, and he's been laying off a few little bits and bobs here or there. You know, how vague can I sound? Basically, he's anticipating GPT-5 this summer on this, I think it was this podcast, which is he's saying that this will be the be all and end all to all of the stupid versions that they have: 03, 04, 4.1, 4.5, 01, all this kind of stuff. He's saying it's going to be the end of all that, and GPT-5 will be the one that will just fix. It will work out basically whether it needs to go heavy or go hard, basically, which is really interesting. He was also on a podcast with his. Oh, this is his brother. So he's on this podcast, Uncapped, with Jack Altman, which is his brother, and then he went on this one, which is OpenAI's own podcast. So they've launched their own podcast, which could be quite interesting, straight from the horse's mouth, as it were. Yeah. I had to listen to these podcasts, and I hate Sam Altman's voice. I'm sorry. When he loses energy, he starts, does this vocal fry thing, and I'm just like, oh my god, just put some energy into your voice. Anyway, off track. He also alluded to better self-drive technology, so all the cameras and stuff like that, the LiDAR that Teslas have. He's claiming that alluding to that they've figured out a way to do it with just normal cameras, like no LiDAR, no anything like that, which would be very interesting. He didn't suggest that they were going to release this, but as a company, you've got to, and this is really exciting to think about, really, but as a company internally, you've got to innovate, or you've got to conceptualize things from all walks of life, because as you might know, I don't know, I love attaching myself to anything creative, because I can go out, look at a brutalist architecture building and say, well, the way they did that, or what they're trying to do here, whether it's the mentality of like efficiency, applying that to like code, or like, you know, lighting and photography. What point is that it seems like they're playing around with this technology, and it helps in other areas, whether they release it or not. But this idea that they've got potentially better self-drive technology, or they figured it out, sort of thing, it's really, really interesting.
I'm on the LiDAR team.
So you're on the LiDAR team. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's not to say that we should replace LiDAR with cameras. It's to say that this is an addition to, or like this could just lead to something else. Basically, it could lead to, well, he spoke specifically about robots as well. He thinks we'll have very capable robots walking around in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, whether you could put LiDARs in robots might be kind of what I'm alluding to right now, but maybe they just need cameras. Maybe tiny little robots just can fit in cameras. But they figured out how to do it. Do you know what I mean? So absolutely, like, you're not going to be able to beat LiDAR, you know, especially in like military and things like that. But yeah. So yeah, robots in the next 5 to 10 years. And we also got clarity on Zuck's, was it 9 or 10 figure offer?
Yeah, 9 figure, I believe it was.
9 figures, which, so Altman said that it was specifically to members of OpenAI who refused it, and it was 100 million as a signing bonus. So it wasn't necessarily a salary, and interpret that how you will, like whether, I don't know, I've never had a signing on bonus, but is a signing on bonus less than a salary? I don't know. I can't imagine it to, but yeah. And Altman was like, well, you know, he's trying hard, he's going all in on it, but that's not the best way to build a culture, is to just throw money at this stuff. So there was a bit of slack talk from Altman towards Zuckerberg there, because I do think people really enjoy working at OpenAI. I think they intentionally have a very small team. I think they're only like, I don't know, maybe even less than 200 people or 100 people or something like that. He tries to keep it really small, but I've also heard he's got a tyrannical leadership style. But there you go. Because did you see the Sam Altman files, or the OpenAI files that went out this morning? I didn't. Yeah. I started reading them, and I was like, "What is this? Like, it feels like it's just like clutching at straws on talking shit about OpenAI." But anyway, there's that. I suppose that's news, but not particularly interesting for web. So yeah,
it's very much like the show again, the Silicon Valley show.
Yeah. Oh, are you sharing your screen, huh?
We'll share. Yeah. So yeah. I was about to go to talk about the next thing. So it's also related to Figma. I almost forgot to share this. Christian shared this with me this week.
Shout out, Christian.
Payload is joining Figma. Payload is a back end. I think they do like back.
Oh, they're a CMS, isn't it, or something like that? Did I read this?
The back end to build a modern web. So this is very interesting, like mixing this with the the MCP that they have, because I think the MCP is also really useful to update like huge databases. Using natural language, you can just do a lot of updates. Take your database and do whatever with it. So Figma just bought them.
Buying up. See, they've got to get some sort of head start on their Figma sites, because they said CMS is coming, right?
Yeah, and this is interesting that they announced Figma sites and they showed the CMS a little bit and they said it's coming, but they bought this company afterwards, or maybe it's just being announced now. For sure, they've been talking or like in contact for some time, but whatever it is, yeah, and their site is pretty cool.
I see what you mean about the Silicon Valley thing, because it's about announcing things before. I mean, it's not rocket science adding a CMS. So I think it's pretty fair to announce. They're not innovating anything like Apple are doing, like innovating, but then making those promises before they even know how they're going to do them. Yeah, it's really cool. How do you think they did? Is that a video in the background there of that website? The video?
I haven't checked it actually. If it's a video,
it looks like a video.
Okay.
It's not responsive.
But it might be a shader. It's probably hard to find right now. Yeah. I hope it's a shader. It's not like a video, because it can be a very light shader, something like this. But I don't know. I'll check that out later. As you see, I'm showing this website using Dia. I'm slowly making the change, and this is the last thing I want to talk about. Quite literally, Dia saved me 66 euros in a refund. So, when you sign up for betas, not for betas, when you sign up for, what is it called? Sorry, I had it here. When you sign up for a free trial and then you forget to cancel it, they ask you for your credit card. They don't charge you, but they charge you later when you forget it.
Sometimes they charge you like a cent or something like that, right?
Yeah. So it happened to me in the past that I get charged and I go and just cancel it or just block that company from PayPal or something, so they don't charge you again. Because sometimes I don't know who charged me, like what app was it? I don't remember. I don't bother going into like 10 different apps and trying to figure out where did my 20 euro goes. But this time it was 66, and I was like, you know what? I want to play with Dia and try if to see if I can get a refund. So, and this is where Dia really shines. So, to share my how can I do this? Okay.
So go to this one.
Exactly. Yeah. So here you see Dia, and this is how I used it. So I was like, if I'm going to email and request for a refund, I have to do it and then come back to it, and it will probably take some emails. So I opened the tab in Dia and I just I said, write a refund, because it had the context of the email that I was charged, right? So it just wrote it, and then you just press insert. So the way it works, I can say write follow up. It just writes it, takes the context of this tab, and then I can just insert it. Boom. So that's really cool. And I did that. And I got back from, they replied to me. I didn't bother reading most of it. So I just looked through it and I just prompt like a very short, sentence to, continue with the cancellation, continue with refund. And they didn't completely work, but kind of like ghosted me for a day or so. I don't know. They were really fast to reply, but then they canceled, but they didn't refund me. They stopped at the cancellation. And then I was like, no. I don't want to stop at the cancellation. I want also a refund. They sent me a tab. They sent me a link about their policy, refund policy. So obviously I opened this and I come back here and I can just take this refund policy tab, and now I have this as the context. And I say, write a follow-up. I want my refund. I didn't use the tool, please. And I mean, they were nice. They gave me the refund, but all of this happened with like minimum effort in typing and also minimum effort in thinking, because I didn't have to like really read or like look at the details. And most importantly, what is like the big point for me is I don't have to go to ChatGPT app or like their tab and change like this is not the only thing I do throughout the day. Surprise, right? I do different things. So I change the tabs in OpenAI. But with this, I don't have to change tabs in 20 different places. I only need to come back to this tab. All the context is still in here, and I just continue prompting until I get what I want. And this to me is like an aha moment, a wow moment. I'm like truly like, I know we talked about in the past weeks, I'm falling in love with this. Like the idea is actually working. Now, because I really like what I'm seeing, I went on and I stalk a lot of people. Like I found this guy. He's the product designer at Dia Browser. And I was like literally searching Dia Browser vertical tabs. And I found this video. So vertical tabs are coming to Dia, not as a default, which it's fine. I accept this.
Nice.
But it's coming. So one thing that I would love to see in Dia, I don't know where I saw it, is if it's a concept or if it's something that they are planning on, is tabs that you can nest. And holy shit, that makes sense. Like this request for a refund and this refund policy, it makes sense to have them nested like in a folder type of way, but it's not a folder. It's just, this is in results of going here. So nested tabs and vertical tabs, please add them. And I'm looking forward to it. They have also this strategy behind Dia's design. It's a blog post. I even thought about like making a video on just reading this through, because I just skimmed through it and it looked very interesting, like how they think about integrating AI. Because as you see, 2000 like different apps are trying to add each a button, an AI button inserted in whatever context you are working with. And it's getting like really busy. What I really like is this approach that they are taking, and if they can nest things, because I don't like this grouping the way it is. I can't nest them. I don't know, can I? No, I can't nest them. I want to put them together, group them, and then you have your context windows, like I don't know what to call, like context groups. It totally makes sense, at least to me. So yeah,
very cool. I want auto browse. So I want to be able to action things on multiple or even singular tabs. But it's cool. I'm glad you're converted.
I know. Yeah, I know you also,
or at least you see the opportunity, rather not necessarily convert, but you see with the opportunity here.
I see. Like if I could work with this company, I would. That's how much I believe in this. Like I truly. It feels like that magical aha moment that it should have been this way. It shouldn't be ChatGPT as a separate tab.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I'm not saying this as like just to, as a boss. I truly think this can replace ChatGPT altogether for me. Like to cancel the subscription and never use it. Like, why do I need ChatGPT for? I know that like you want to store stuff. If a Dia can give me like somewhere where I can see my projects or like store them, maybe we store them in tabs, but just as the chat and not the websites.
It's going to be a productivity machine.
Yeah, I don't need ChatGPT. I don't need to go to ChatGPT and scroll down to find an email that I was talking about like a week ago, and the search doesn't work half of the time, and it's slow. It's just not it. This integration, I truly love it. But on the browser thing that you said, like browsing thing, I get that as well. Like agentic, right? Because I just texted my brother with a list of shopping list, but I talked to ChatGPT and I asked it to browse a specific supermarket and find a few like specific products that I want, because I didn't have time to go and do it manually and to make sure my brother get the right products. ChatGPT did it. So if that comes here with like, conversational and browsing, that would be like really cool.
Yeah. Listen, I've got a hard stop on that bombshell. Yeah, I'm into it. I've got to go. I've got a weekend ahead of me. Cheers for tuning in, everyone. And yeah, keep on vibing.
Peace out.